My name's Christopher Pearce. I'm a professional food and beverage photographer. I've been doing it for about 20 years. I used to be a photojournalist at the Sydney Morning Herald, and then I moved into food and beverage photography. I use a Nikon Z9, and today we've got a Nikkor 28-400 forward f8. Had it for a couple of months. I've been using it as my supplementary lens on my jobs, just to see what extra content I can get. I always like using different gear. Like I like to use fashion gear on food and drinks like stuff. So where I can use this with my food photography is I can get quite a ways back, and if I want to drop the background out a lot, like a really big bokeh. So with this lens, with my food photography, apart from shooting all the interiors and the outside stuff, I can actually use it as a bit more of a long lens to shoot into a dining setting or into a cocktail setting where people are drinking and eating. And I can still have the food and the drink as the hero of the shot, but I can get that nice blurry background and zoom in from a long way away and not interrupt what's going on. Most of my photography is on a macro lens because I shoot food and drinks and stuff. There's a lot of stuff in and around restaurants and bars and wineries and distilleries and hotels, which is a lot of stuff I do. I need a wider lens or a zoomed in lens that I can just get around really quickly and shoot a lot of content. So something like this is really good to get everything else but the close-up shots that go with the restaurant package. So when you do a package for a client, they don't just want the food, they want the vibe of the place, they want the architecture and everything else. So it's a really quick lens to like change your focal length, and also it's really light. I can put it in my back pocket of my bag and just walk around with it, take my macro lens off, and then put it on and go around and get lots and lots of content in a short period of time. Because often I only get like 20 minutes, 30 minutes to get as much as I can on most shoots. So it's a good little tool to have in the kit. The main thing I love about it is it's super light. Because when I used to do photography back at the newspaper, anything with 400mm on it weighed a ton. You'd have a box this big and be dragging it around. The build quality does feel a lot better. The old one was a bit more plasticky, a bit stiff. This one feels smooth all the way through, all the way out. And then you have the multi-function ring to either do your focus or, well, do your manual focus if you do a manual focus. Most of my stuff's autofocus, so most of what I focus on, because it's so quickly, I focus on the zoom. So I might go in and out, in and out. So my 24-70 is heavier than this, it feels. Even though this is longer when it zooms out, this is actually easier when I'm walking around on my shoulder. And when you get older and you're a photographer, the lighter the gear, the better. Otherwise, you'll stop and your shoulder will fall off. So compared to my old lens, which was a 70-300, 5.6, this is lighter, smaller, it's a better build quality, and then the control, especially the zoom, which is the thing I mainly use, is really smooth and steady. So you could potentially sometimes do a little bit of video where you're zooming in or something, or if you need to quickly zoom in on a photo, it's really easy to use. At the end of the day, the image quality is better than what I used to get. And I think when I used to have Nikon lenses, after a while of using them and bumping them around, because I'm rough on my gear, eventually they start to get a bit blurry. Whereas these new ones, they seem to stay pretty sharp. It's marketed as a travel lens almost, but I thought I could use it in my work to supplement my normal lenses, my macros and my 50mm. If you have a kit, whether you are an architecture photographer, a food photographer, most people's lenses are 24-70, 70-100 or 16-35. But I find on all my jobs, you could always use a lens like this. It's always good to have in the pocket, because if you don't have it in the pocket, you just won't get those shots. I'm always going to have one in my kit from now on, just because it was something I was missing. For a lens that's not too expensive, it's a great little lens. It's light, it's fast, it's easy to use, it's durable, and it's a great everyday lens for any photographer, not just a food and beverage. So guys, if you want to get this Nikon 28-400 f4 to f8 zoom lens, go into the George's Camera store or get on the website and check it out.